Iran is moving quickly this morning to ramp up oil production after the lifting of nuclear sanctions. 500,000 new barrels of Iranian oil are expected to worsen the glut that has sent oil prices into a tailspin. The cost of crude this morning is under $30 a barrel, its lowest level since 2003. Weak demand for oil and China's slowing economy sent shockwaves through American markets. The S&P 500, Dow Jones and Nasdaq are all down 8% or more since the start of the year. JPMorgan Chase CEO Dimon is here to talk about that and to unveil a new jobs initiative. In full disclosure, Dimon is a friend. I have a business relationship with JPMorgan and have participated in the company's conferences. Good morning.
Pleasure to be here, Charlie.
Thank you. It's good to have you here. Talk about, for us, oil prices are down. Markets seem to be volatile and scared. China has announced that its lowest growth in its GNP. Does this concern you in terms of where the global economy is going?
I say yes, a little bit, but maybe not as much as most other people. So the way I kind of look at it, China is confusing people. It's getting slower. They've kind of mismanaged a little bit the yuan and their stock market. The commodity prices have gone way down, which, remember, they're huge beneficiaries, consumers, Japan, India, and they're huge losers, oil companies, Brazil, et cetera, and that creates a lot of turmoil. I think there's uncertainty around the presidential election, the reversing of QE3. I think all those things just create a lot of turbulence, but I'm kind of hopeful when that sorts out and markets reprice that the strength of the economy, which is still there, that we're adding jobs and we're growing.
So overall good?
Overall good, and I think China, with all the turbulence, will probably grow at 5 or 6%, which is a huge amount of growth. They're now a $10 trillion economy.
I think the question some people are is how resilient do you think the U.S. economy is?
Very.
Yeah.
So the United States, we export, I think it's only 12 or 13% of our GDP. 1% is to China. 143 million people have jobs, 120 million people in the private sector. And as long as the American consumer, they have money, they're actually wealthier because we see wages going up. We've added 12 million jobs in the last 5 or 6 years. We have a thing called JPMorgan Chase Institute, which analyzes in deep detail how people spend money. We see them spending the gas money, about 80% of it. And so the U.S. economy could plow right through this. It may slow it down a little bit, but as long as the U.S. economy is strong, that's probably the most important thing in the world right now.
Before we talk about your initiative, I wanted to talk about politics for a second, because it seems like bashing bankers seems to be in vogue on both sides of the political parties. Do you think that you and your homies, so to speak, are easy targets, or do you think that it's unfair?
Look, we're easy targets, and I've gotten used to this. It's now been 7 or 8 years. And, look, we try to be a great corporate citizen wherever we are. We help cities, schools, hospitals. We're steadfast. We don't run out of countries. Our customers are happy with us, and that's what we have to do every day is earn it. And I understand the political situation, but I think even the politicians should want JPMorgan to do a good job lending, helping our clients, allocating capital, and obviously being safe and sound, which we are. We were an absolute rock of Gibraltar through the storm. We will be in the next storm, and that's our job.
But let me just talk one question about the storm. And clearly, the storm had a huge impact. And clearly, you have paid billions of dollars in fines. What do you regret?
Probably buying Bear Stearns in WAMU. I probably made a mistake doing that in hindsight. When you don't know those things at the time, and so if you're running a business, you're going to make mistakes, and you can do some things right and some things wrong. But we've now paid a terrible price. We've got great people from them. We're in California because of WAMU in Florida. We got great people out of Bear Stearns, but we paid probably another $20 billion at this point. So in hindsight, I would not have done those things.
Could that happen again?
No, we wouldn't. I don't think my board would ever approve an acquisition like that again.
Who do you think would be tougher on Wall Street, Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders?
Oh, I don't know. I've been a believer always that there should be proper, strong regulations, and at one point people need to get into detail what that is. We're a very strong company. We were a source of stability in the storm, and we will be again. So to me, let's talk about the right way to do things. Have good regulations, not just excessive all over the place, but good ones that actually work.
Therefore,
and by the way, I think the regulators should take credit. The system is a lot stronger. Twice as much capital. God knows how much more liquidity. The American banking system is very strong. It's part of why the American economy is stronger than everybody else.
But did you support Dodd-Frank?
Dodd-Frank was thousands of different things. I supported 70 or 80%. Most of the things I didn't support, by the way, if Barney Frank were here, the same things Barney Frank was against.
Yeah, but
so there are several things but no one's going to agree on everything in a bill like that.
Right.
I don't think anyone in Congress would agree on everything. So.
But I would think it would get tiring being a human pinata. But let's talk about
But you say that, but I'm very proud of my company.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of the people and the job we do in 2,000 communities around the world.
So what do you think is the biggest misconception about Wall Street?
Well, Wall Street's a big place. You got asset managers, investors, private equity, venture capital. I don't know what people exactly mean. Banks have a role in that, but we're not exclusively Wall Street. But a healthy financial system it includes all those things. So, it's just, it is, I understand it's a kind of a black box to some people, but at the end of the day, we move money, we invest money for people, we raise capital for companies large and small. We're the largest bank in America, just about, to small businesses and middle market companies. And I assume people want us to continue doing that job.
I want to talk about you being a good corporate citizen.
Yeah.
Could we do that for a second?
Yes, you may. Yeah, thank you.
And one of the reasons why you're proud of the company, because I too have been to a couple of JPMorgan conferences, and I see the work you do, but this new initiative I think is really exciting because you want to recruit students in a different kind of way. You're looking for an alternative. Not that there's anything wrong with the four-year college, but you're looking at a new way of doing that.
Yeah.
Tell us how it works.
This grant is $75 million over several years, is to get and you got to do it locally. Get jobs created for kids who are graduating high school, community schools, so when they leave, they actually have a well-paying job. So you guys showed this aviation school in Long Island City. 2,000 kids go there. They get in. When they get out, $55,000 average job because they're trained in electrical equipment, they're trained in airframes, they're trained in engine control and stuff like that. So this grant hopefully will create innovation at the local level where a state, a city, civic society, i.e. think of community schools or high schools, and businesses work together and say, if you do this, we're going to hire these kids. And the businesses should be involved in that training to make sure it's training they actually want. So
the states will apply.
Hopefully we have innovation in this one.
Yeah,
and if it works, there'll be replication.
But are you saying as an alternative to traditional college education?
No, I think it's very important. Community schools have a fabulous role to play in high schools. To get, even when you graduate high school, if you know coding, you're much likely to get a job. So high schools and community schools, and that's a pathway. You can stay in that job, but if you aspire to go into college, you should be allowed to do that too. So it's both.
What I like is that it pays well, but why is it important to you? Because you really don't have to do this kind of thing.
Yeah, so JPMorgan Chase, we're one of the biggest banks in America. The success of this country is paramount to us. I think this is a moral thing too, by the way. So that if you ask me, we have 40% of inner city school kids not graduating. The unemployment rate for youth minority, 20%. It's a disgrace. I mean, if you were a business, you'd be ringing the alarm bell, getting the people in the room, lining up and saying you're not leaving until you fix it. So it's great for society. Obviously, it would be great for JPMorgan Chase. It would create opportunity for people, and it's not a zero-sum game. Because, I tell people think, here's the one example I have, East Germany and West Germany. West Germany wanted to be very prosperous. East Germany wasn't. East Germany could have been just as prosperous if you have the right policies, collaboration, getting people to work together, like they're doing in Detroit, by the way, the mayor and the governor. It's unbelievable. You can have success. And that's what I think people should be working on, and not just finger pointing and scapegoating. And so that's JPMorgan's been doing this kind of stuff for 200 years. Wow. So in addition to like banking, we try to help every community we're in. And this is global too, by the way.
Thank you, Jamie.
Come back.
Yeah.
I will.
You had a bit of a health scare. Do you feel as good as you look?
I do feel good. Thank you.
No, you look, no, you
I'm happy to be healthy again, hopefully.
No, you look really good.
Cancer-free.
It was a pleasure.
Thank
Enjoy.
you very much.